Hey guys, this is Neena Perez, and this is Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. This show is created to discuss life topics and hopefully challenge and transform your thinking. Hey guys, this is Neena Perez, and this is Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. Thank you so much for watching. This show is created to discuss life topics and hopefully challenge and transform your thinking. So today we have an amazing guy here. I love him. He's always here. I love him. His name is Chris Jackson, and he is a certified performance mindset coach specializing in self-leadership. Chris and his wife, Elena, they own Coaching and Counseling in Connecticut, a hybrid practice that serves overwhelmed high achievers who work in demanding work environments, such as found in tech, finance, and business industries, as well as within the military, police force, and medical field. That is a lot to say. So this is part 2. And in part 1, me and Chris were talking about remixing 2021. And one of the things we talked about was reinventing yourself, how we go about that, what do we do for that, and refocusing. Like we talked about not just refocusing in career, but also maybe refocusing in the way we do relationships and how we do that. So Chris, you had brought up a really great example in that last video too, with a woman who had to try to kind of find herself and kind of refocus also what she was doing. Now, she was a high performer, so it wasn't like she wasn't doing anything. She was a high performer, just wasn't living up to her fullness of what she can be, and how she kind of reinvented and refocused herself. And now she's like in her niche, right? In her thing. And that is like really, really cool. Now, if you guys missed that video, I will make sure to link that above for you, or you can go on to YouTube and look for Straight Talk, No Sugar Added, and you can see that video and many, many more. So Chris, I wanted to pick up from there, and I wanted to talk about re-energizing, right? So there's something that happens. I think there's something that happens when you're reinventing and you're refocusing. You almost do get a natural energy that comes from that, right?
Yeah.
So if I feel like if you're feeling that you're lacking a lot of energy, maybe those are the kind of steps you need to take. So how do we re-energize? What do we do to get that happening?
Yes. Well, we need, and thank you, Nita. So we need to really, and I said this in part 1, is to slow down and stop and check in with ourselves. We have to look at the dashboard and see if there's a check engine light, right? That's like a car analogy from part 1. I'm bringing it back into part 2. I like it's all the time. Yeah, if you got something popping up on your dashboard, you ought to not ignore it just because you got somewhere to go. You better put it in your planner to get that thing checked in. Now, what does that even mean? That means something is not firing the way it needs to fire to be optimal, to get the job done with more ease and less stress. So when we feel like things are just becoming harder to do and it's draining our energy, we need to understand what's going on in our lives that are doing that. So that is like, and I have a tool called like the energy audit. So you look at your energy drainers and your energy gainers.
Okay.
The energy drainers and gainers. And the drainers can be, and the gainers can be people, places, projects, habits, and cash drainers. Where are the little holes in the boat that have like the water leaking in, and you need to do something about it right now and not procrastinate on it. You don't want to procrastinate on your mental, emotional, and physical health, and spiritual health too, right? Definitely don't want to procrastinate on that, because that's doing something bigger and for the purpose you have in your life. I'll actually show you a framework that I have that ties part A and what we're going to talk about today together. So what does it feel like to have the type of energy that just drags us down? It can be something that we're resisting. It can be some type of conflict, inner conflict, outer conflict we have with someone, somebody, something. It could be this right or wrong way of being. There's no gray area, and we only see things in black or white. So you get pissed off when there is no gray area, and it just drains you
Mhm.
because you're constantly upset. You need to fight for everything. If I don't do it my way, it's not going to get done the right way. All these people are imbeciles. It's all on me. That's training. It must suck to always know everything. Like no growth. Like I know everything. Nobody knows nothing. It's all on me.
That's me in my 20s. That was me. Totally me.
I think that's like I think everybody's like that. It's like, yeah, so it's like that, or it can be you can be a people pleaser, right? You know, you got the adverse. So we got the angry giver walking around and like the person that knows it all and blah blah blah. But then on the adverse of that, we got the person walking around kind of like in that victim energy. Like nothing I do is ever good enough. So why even try?
Mm.
I feel hopeless to make this situation change. Let me make myself feel better and go eat my pain away. Let me go ahead and have a nightcap tonight because I deserve it so much. I work so hard. Nobody's listening to
Oh
me. What
gosh, yes.
about me?
That's draining actually when you have that kind of energy, or if you're around people that have that energy, it's a very
Oh,
draining thing. So I could see why you would have to re-energize.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely, definitely. The best thing to do, like if you're feeling like that hopeless, helpless, kind of like nothing you do is good enough type of energy, or nobody can do it the way I can do it, um, then the one thing that you can do to lift yourself out of that energetically now is taking responsibility, right?
Good.
It's like taking responsibility. That will be the core thought to get you out of that energy. And the emotion that corresponds with responsibility is forgiveness. Forgive the people that are pissing you off.
Mhm,
Forgive the people who don't see you or hear you.
mhm.
What can you do that's in your control in which you don't let your energy get sunk down here? That's taking the responsibility and owning it. What can you do? That forgiveness feels great. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be angry or not being seen or being heard. How can we do something about that? And then the action that goes with the responsibility, the thought of responsibility, the emotion of forgiveness, the action of it or the behavior of it is cooperation, is tolerance. You can start to be able to live amongst the experience that's dragging you down, and you can settle with it. Now, you don't want to do it for too long,
Mhm.
right? And hovering right above that energy that brings you down because you're tolerating it and you got really good at it because you don't want to waste any time or have anything get in your way of getting things done. You can keep the peace that way, right?
Mhm.
Which is a lot better than avoiding people. That feels like a victim. I got to avoid so I don't get into a fight because I hate fights because conflict. Oh my God, when I was 10, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, but
Yeah.
that can just be coasting and living a smaller life than you really want to play
Mm.
because it's comfortable, right? It's not taking big leaps. What I see a lot is people who are caregivers, right? People who live a lot in their heart, very smart intelligently in their head, but they prefer to live from their heart, right? They prefer harmony in the environment. They love nurturing people just as much as they love nurturing projects. And they want to give. They want to be the epicenter of their house, of their community, of their job. And if they're in a place that just doesn't receive that type of kindness and love, you don't feel like you have value and nothing you do is good enough. You
Mm.
can't earn people's care. It's just like you're playing in the wrong sandbox, right? Now you're down to a victim because people don't view you and see you for who you are. So you go from caring down to victim, down to F this, screw that, venting to your wife or to your
Mhm.
husband, and they get a chance to hear it all. It's like, oh my God, every day, what the hell? Right? But own it. Why are you still there? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you logging on to your job 1 hour early because you expect that they expect you on and you didn't eat breakfast, you didn't go for your walk, you didn't pray, you didn't meditate, you
Yep.
didn't stretch, you didn't work out because you're so nervous that you're going to upset somebody,
Mhm.
right? So there's so many different ways of thinking and being, and we want to be a certain way that's above the conflict consciousness, the victim mentality, and then start going higher and higher and higher and creating win-wins, which means you don't create a win for somebody else without you coming along for the ride. You come along for the ride too and create a win for you. And if that person or whatever it is that you're dealing with cannot get a win and you get a win and you meet right here, then it's off the table. And then it's like, all right, let's just pivot. Like, what's up now? I got to do something. Like, that's being confident, though. That's being that pandemic proof that we were talking about. That's that I know what I have, what it takes. I know I'm good enough. I'm just playing in the wrong sandbox. All right, I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's easier said than done, but that's when kind of like the coaching and the counseling comes into play to show people and reminding them just who the bleep they are in the first place. I think a lot of times we forget that. We forget how good we are. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're 100% right. And the thing is, and that just like plays into everything you said before, right? Because, you know, you're re-energizing yourself. So you're owning it. You're taking ownership.
Yeah.
But you can't do that without focusing. So you have to like refocus your life and like really get that in you know, going, because you need to have a vision, right? So you do that. And then you realize that it all ties into also like reinventing yourself and who you are as a person. Like all of this is like, boom, but that's why we called it the remix, right? Because it really does kind of all play into each other. These are, I don't think, well, maybe I'm wrong. You correct me. I don't know if these things can be kind of like pulled apart. I think they interlink with each other, you know, like you're going to get the byproduct of one or the other, you know, whether it's reinventing yourself, to refocus, to re-energize, and then of course now to restructure.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
And if I'm thinking about it, if you want to put that in a bucket, right? I'm just thinking about these buckets that you can put it in. You can put it in a bucket, like everything that has to do with relationships, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people, and your relationship with your creator or your purpose or whatever it is that you feel outside of yourself, right? So if we put that in 4 buckets, we can start thinking big picture and bring it down to like, what I want to do this year to make the big picture thing happen.
That's
right?
good.
So it could be like, all right, what are the key relationships that I want in my life 10 to 25 years down the road, like 10 to 25 years. Now, people are going to say their family members, a couple of friends, but really expand on that. What about the people in your community? What about the thing that you wanted to get into, but you never got into it yet because you didn't have enough time, you thought it was silly, whatever it may be, but it's still like on your radar. You might follow them on Instagram, like something, right? Maybe you have a mentor, you follow a podcast, like a mentor you never even met, like, but they're your mentor through a podcast, an author, or whatever like that. That's somebody maybe you want to go see one day. Like you want to keep them in your life because they vibe a certain way that touches you somewhere, that you want them to be a part of your life, part of your vibe, right? But and that's relationship. So what are the key relationships that you want in your life 10 to 25 years down the road, right? And then how can you, within the next year, take out a couple of those relationships and really put them in your planner and focus on growing those relationships so you don't take them for granted and solidify that relationship for 10 to 25 years. So that's one bucket. Another bucket for a 10 to 25 year down the road could be achievements. What are those achievements that you want 10 to 25 years down the road? Wow, I want to be in the best shape of my life. That can be an achievement. I want a marriage that is fruitful. That can be an achievement. I want to be able to, and you can apply this to your position at your job. So for me, like if I was going to say something, I would be like, okay, I want to be able to save people from a soul-sucking career and put them into the direction that they want to go to. And I want that number to be 250 people. Like you can just put a number on that. Now you're directing. It's like, I gotta get it done. If I want to do this for 250 people, I'm not gonna like present my coaching to 250 and they're gonna say yes. I probably have to talk to like 5,000 people.
I have to start with like 1 and go move up, right?
Right, because I'm gonna get a lot.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like achievements. You want to know, that's like what you want your life to be about, but that's relationships. Like you're building relationships. And then you look at rituals. What are the rituals that you want? Do you want to take a family vacation once a year? Do you want to get together with just your friends and throw like a barbecue in the summer and just have them host them? You want to be able to run a 5K, run a half marathon, run an Ironman once a year because you got yourself in that shape 10 years from now. So these rituals, these achievements, these relationships, and then wealth. You want to assign your dollars to something that means something, that builds into all the things I just said, builds into the people, builds into the rituals, builds into the achievements. Now you have an assignment on your dollar, and that just gets you energized. And then you put it all in your planner. You combine your values. You have value-based living with this framework, this plan, and freaking work out, eat good things, and also eat the naughty.
You got to add that in there. Why you got to add that?
Because that's part of the energy.
No, it is. It is.
That's part of the energy, and the physical energy, because it just feels good. But everything in moderation, including moderation. So I do a lot of
that's
like
good. Everything in moderation, including moderation.
Yeah, we gotta have fun.
Yeah.
However, if we have an addicted personality and we love addicting foods, then maybe we shouldn't eat the addictive foods. We learn on how to have that fun food in a more cleaner state that's not going to addict you with the sugar overload, which I know that you can rock out a lot of naughty treats and make them a little bit like less diabetic for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been doing that because of my weight loss journey. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So that's like what you're helping people do, right? It's kind of like restructure and reframe. Right. All of what they're doing, mindset wise, but also physically, right? Because like you said, it's important for that to go hand in hand. Yes. And I think that's very, I think that to your point, because I know that you're also very much into the mind and the body. And I know that you also like physical fitness, right? Yes. And I know that for me, I've noticed that since I've taken charge of becoming healthier, I'm also becoming stronger mentally.
Definitely.
And I'm already, I think, a pretty strong-headed, determined woman. But now challenging that last like hurdle in my life, right, which has always been weight loss. Yeah. And I'm trying to restructure now, which is, to your point, changing and challenging my mindset. You know what I mean? And that's actually bringing out confidence in me of other things that I didn't know I had, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great. And as you were saying that, I was like, something came up to me. It was like branding, like a brand, right? Mm-hmm. You can literally be a walking billboard for somebody else's brand, which means any of those addicting foods that we just get addicted to. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're going to look like their brand. Pillsbury, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Sugar, anything tasty.
That's true though. Oh,
yeah, you're going to put money in their pocket and you're going to adapt to their brand. But once you start walking to your own tune and you're like, I'm going to put a boundary around this because this is not giving me the energy that I need to be able to produce the outcomes that I seek, that I know that I can do, then, you're going to be on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm going to show this framework, like I said I was going to show before, but it's about clarity, it's about energy, and it's about vision. This is to help somebody feel clear, confident, and courageous, and be able to have that self-leadership in everything that they do. So we'll go ahead and bring that up.
Yeah, okay. Let's check it out.
Cool. So let me go ahead and.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
All right. Show us. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Cool. So literally, this is my coaching practice on paper or digital, and I like creating this this framework for people individually. And if we have to change words around to fit their goals, I like doing that. Like, for example, if they're like going from corporate to entrepreneurship, maybe we create something that's specifically for their new venture. However, if we're just talking, looking at the person as a whole right here, what I want to do is be able to teach them 3 things within each of these pillars. Now, the pillars are in the big, bold, black things. So clarity, energy, and vision. And this is all the things that we're talking about. In the middle of this triangle is called the clear, confident, courageous leader. And this goes with my self-leadership deal. Okay, I think every one of us are leaders. We're the captain of our own ship. And Instead of, this is one of those quotes, instead of trying to control the wind, control the sail, we can do that. What's in our control, right? So that takes clarity, that takes confidence, and that takes courage. Okay. Now, people might not be sitting around saying, man, I wish I had more courage. They just feel fear and may not want to admit it. Man. So this right here, clarity, energy, and vision, clear, confident, and courageous leadership are all self-leaders. How can we be more clear in what the next step is? Well, let's go to the bottom of that triangle. I'm gonna whip through this in 2 minutes, maybe even less. So clarity. In order to be clear, confident, and courageous, and know that you're going into the right direction for your life to get more energy, you gotta be clear on who you are. And who you are, we were talking about that in part 1, are your key values. And you want to be able to learn how to live into those. They are your shoulds and your shouldn'ts in life. They are your law, and you need to build boundaries and non-negotiables around your law. I can go on forever about that. Strengths. What are your key strengths? Every single one of us has a talent. We have a God-given talent and an assignment on our life to be able to create the things that are going to help lift people up. What are those strengths? And then on the flip side, they have weaknesses. What are the weaknesses that you're covering up and doubling down on your strength, because it's easier for you to be strong and not build into those weaknesses? That's where I come in to help you with that. Your belief system. Beliefs are everything. I like to look at beliefs as a playbook, not a rule book, or a rule book, which means BS rules, bullshit rules, right? What are those BS rules that we're carrying around with us that are not allowing us to play, right? So what is your playbook, not your rule book? What are your limiting beliefs keeping you down? We want to work with that. So core clarity, and I actually offer a core clarity session, which I did with you, Neena, once upon a time, to really work on this bottom part of the triangle. It's a one-off session, but it really helps you get really clear on who you are, what you want, and why you want it in the first place, and why you're keeping yourself from getting it. Now, this is some good stuff. So on the left side, it's the energy, right? This is mindset, motivation, and movement. We were just talking about that. Movement's so important. You don't want to be like still water, like a swamp with reptiles on it and moss on it and mosquitoes. You don't got cute Bambi coming to drink water and pant water from it at all. You got no cuteness on that swamp.
No, not at all, actually.
You want to be living, breathing, clear water, trout, fly fishing, Bambis everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to swim in it, drink from it, from the reservoir. You want to be in the ocean. The ocean is breathtaking. Why? Because it's powerful. It's moving. It's a life-giving. The sun sets right on it. Staying in motion is like when you first started to learn how to drive a clutch and you were scared that the car would stop because you didn't think you were going to start it over again and you're just going to jerk it because you're like, I don't want it to stop. You got to stay moving, right? A body in motion is a living being. Motivation, where do we get that? We get that by knowing what our anchors are that light us up. And what lights us up are knowing what our values are, living in them, and seeing results when you're moving, in case you want to lose a couple of pounds at the same time, right? And now your mindset, how you view your world, how you see your world. And we talked about this in part 1, we talked about it now. Thoughts, emotions, actions. Thoughts, emotions, actions. What are your core thoughts causing you to feel a certain way, to behave a certain way? And that's a whole nother framework that I love diving in my full coaching package there. Finally, we got the vision, and we touched on that too. Relationships, 10 to 25 years out, and then 3 to 5 years out, 1 year out. What do you need to do to solidify all those things? And what are your 90-day starts and stops? If you want to have a closer relationship with your children, but you spend a lot of time on the golf course, well, guess what? Now you got to stop trying to be on the PGA Tour, which you're not that good anyway. You just like playing golf. Spend more time with your kid. Starts and stops. You know what I mean? And whatever it may be, it could be a passion project you want to play with. Maybe you want to leave your job. But what is your overall vision, and why does that matter to you? And who's going to benefit from it? Who else can you pour into? We want to know what those long range, mid-range, short range goals are. What are the strategies that help you get there? And then what I can help you stay focused on week in and week out to feel those victories, to stay motivated, cultivate the winning mindset, bring the energy in it, the vision in it, and clarity in it. Once you're clear on what you want and who you are, you combine that with energy. The side bonus is presence in that bottom left in that triangle. You're going to start vibing. You're going to be attractive. You're going to be a motivator. You're going to be a leader. People are going to start buying into you. They're going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to be around you. Just like somebody you might know that you see that vibes a certain way that you want to talk to more because there's something different about them. That's that grounded power. You combine that energy with the vision on the other side of the triangle, your bonus is going to be a sense of peace, a sense of knowing, a sense of wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge applied into action. You learn new things when you move. Keep moving. You'll learn more things about you. Like you're saying, you got more focus just because you wanted to lose some weight, and now you're doing the things that are going to help you do that, and now you have more energy, right, to be able to do your thing. And then finally, to bring it home, your vision, your clarity, put that together. Now you know what you stand for, what you want your life to be about, your shoulds and shouldn'ts, your rules. You got rid of that. Now you got a playbook. You know what your strengths are, your weaknesses, and your blind spots. And then now you know what you want your life to be about, what your vision. And then I keep you focused with everything we put together for your strategy. You're going to feel a sense of purpose. You're going to feel purpose. You're going to feel presence. You're going to feel peace. You're going to be energized. You're going to be clear on who you are, and you're going to know where you want to go. And that's the clear, confident, courageous leader. Bam. That's a remix.
That's really good. That's a remix. And that's why you need to contact Chris, because Chris, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here and dropping all of these amazing nuggets as you normally and always do, because I don't think you know how not to. Okay. Because you're just so good at it. This is just really, since day one, since we met, it's been just a powerful, always having such great, authentic, powerful conversations with you, because you are really always in there. You're always in the moment. You're always you, which is really great. So I want to thank you so much for being on this show. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. If you want to contact Chris, which I really highly recommend that you do, because it is going to be worth every second of your time. And Chris can be reached at coachingandcounselingct.com, and you can email him at chris@coachingandcounselingct.com. He's also on Facebook, so make sure you get on there and check him out. And that's Christopher Michael Jackson. So check him out and really think about how you can remix your 2021 for a much better year. Don't worry about last year. Even if last year was a challenge, this is a new day. This is a new year. It is time to move forward. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Neena doing 2021. This is straight talk, no sugar added. Until next time.